Hello guys, my name is Nilbez. I'm just giving you a quick follow-up on a few things that I missed and skipped over accidentally with my last video. So I've actually been playing through Biohazard again, and I've got to say I didn't really touch much on Jack Baker being a killer coming to the game. Out of the more recent games, I stand by what I said about Village. I don't think they're going to be bringing in a killer from Village, but Biohazard's different. Jack was and has become quite an icon. He really is quite relevant in the game itself as well. He appears a lot. He's, yeah, the main big guy. So he's definitely got a chance of being the killer that comes to this DLC. But we will find out. We will find out very soon. The clock's ticking. We're going to find out very soon. But he does have a running up chance. In my personal opinion, it is Nemesis. But Wesker and Jack, two characters, very big characters I might add. I did forget to go over in my previous video. They definitely stand a chance for that title. I just don't think it's going to be them. But Jack is a very good choice. If they don't choose Nemesis, Jack is a very good choice. There's a lot that they can do with him. He's got many weapons, many forms and appearances that you see throughout the game in his chase. He could work. He'd have some really cool reskins as well, and he'd be one of the killers that actually has some funny lines and creepy lines that would happen during chase. Like he can say, "I can hear you, boy," and that kind of stuff, you know. Quite creepy. Jack Baker, even though he isn't as ugly and intimidating looking at first glance as some of the other choices, he is an incredibly iconic killer. He would be an iconic killer in DBD. He's got several forms throughout the game from all the damage that you do to him. He's got multiple weapons of choice. He's got really scary, creepy, funny catchphrases that would be amazing, kind of like the killer version of Ashley Williams. He would work really well, so that's something I think is definitely noteworthy as well. He's definitely a good runner-up for Nemesis. I still believe Nemesis is going to be the killer added, but Wesker and Jack, they're very good runner-ups. I would not at all be upset a little bit if one of them came instead. They're both very good choices. My heart is a bit set on Nemesis. I just think he's completely bad. But yeah, Jack Baker, after playing through 7 again, and Jack Baker is incredible. He'd be a great choice. Cosmetic wise, I just think Jack Baker would be a really strong choice. He looks different throughout the game. He's got different weapons he attacks you with throughout the game. So, I mean, I pride myself in using pretty skins. I like to use cool skins, pretty looking skins, and I like to be able to change my characters. For me, cosmetics is quite a big thing. So Jack does give you that opportunity to have quite a lot of varied cosmetics, which I would quite like. So that's one good thing for him. One other thing worth mentioning as well is in the actual teaser trailer that we received several weeks ago now, with Felix on the hook. There was a lot of debate whether that was Felix. It was Felix. It seemed pretty obvious that it was Felix. It was the exact same cry, same clothes. The only thing they blurred out was his face, and I think that's just because they didn't want the survivor to be known already or be the main event of the teaser. They wanted the tag, the charm to be the main thing, and the sound effects as well, which is what I'm going to be going and moving on to now. So you actually hear a horde of zombies at the end, or at least a few zombies at the end of that. So behaviour have mentioned new ways of escaping and surviving and dying, so that leads me to believe there's going to be a strong zombie feature, such as potentially when you become infected and potentially die and it's over, you would come back, whether you can play as it or not, probably not, as a zombie, and you would become an extra obstacle for the leftover survivors, and I think that would be incredible. Zombies are relevant in the original games, 1, 2 and 3. From 4, which is an amazing game, don't get me wrong, they kind of they changed that a little bit. It's not so much zombies, they appear more human and more lifelike than they did in the previous games. They're not the basic bog standard zombie that you and I know. So that leads me to believe that it is a killer based on one of the original games. So I know that's me kind of boycotting Jack and Wesker, but I had to include them. They're both really iconic characters, really iconic antagonists, and they both still could potentially come to the game because Behaviour have been known to mix things up with regards to killers, maps, and games, and all that kind of stuff, like they did with the Silent Hill DLC. But that does mean, I believe, there are going to be zombies, which leads me to believe it is going to be a killer from the original 3 games. That being said, I do still want to talk a little bit more about Wesker. With Wesker being the main bad guy in Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil Remake, Code Veronica, and also Resident Evil 5, he's definitely noteworthy and worth mentioning, and I completely grazed over that in my first video, so I thought I'd mention that now. I still don't feel like Behaviour will choose him over Nemesis. Nemesis feels like a more clear icon, but Wesker's definitely a good runner-up. He has many reasons to be chosen. He's not too tall. He's in several games, as mentioned. He is a main bad guy, and he is very powerful. But he's, I feel, almost too powerful in a sense. I mean, this cutscene, for instance, where he's getting shot at and he's just blinking past all the bullets and teleporting to people, he'd feel to me, if they did him justice, like an overpowered nurse. So I'm not sure how he would work. I don't know how they would balance him. That's one of my main reasons why I don't feel it will be Wesker. But that being said, he's definitely a choice that wouldn't be a bad choice. He's one of the main characters in the series. So there you have it, that's my opinion. I think Wesker would be a great choice, Jack Baker would also be a great choice, but I personally feel that Nemesis would fit the role a little bit better, especially with the zombie noises you hear in the actual teaser. But I did mention they have played around with these things before, Behaviour, with things from different games, with Silent Hill for instance. But I do believe it will be Nemesis, and I just wanted to include these guys because they're incredible icons, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like and subscribe because I will be coming out with more content, and have a lovely rest of your day, guys. Peace out.